It is Saturday, paper doll Saturday. Let's go. Let's do it. I've got my folio and I've got my journal, and I am going to show you how I am making this page today, because this is going to be the 52 weeks of paper dolls. So I made this one last week, and this one we will be making together this week, and I want to show you how I did that. Let's go check out what the freebie is this week as well. Hi everyone, my name is Mary Lou, and this is Create Junk Journals with Mary Lou. Are you excited? Are you excited to see what this week's paper doll is like? I think you'll like her. She's a little bit more casual, a little bit more fun, more summery. Let's just bring her on. There we go. I, I am really happy with this. So I think we should just start building. I can tell you that I love these pants. They're palazzo pants, and then these are kind of like harem pants made out of the same pattern as a palazzo pant. The blouses have the little cap sleeves on them. There's little sandals, and then the bag and the hat, all with the same pattern as the pants, but just in a reverse pattern. There's a little bit more blue in there to match the shoes. It is absolutely gorgeous. And I think these shoes are going to work for what I want to do. So let's grab my folio, because that is where I am keeping all the extras and the dolls once I have them fussy cut. This the blouse from the jive one will also work with these pants. So it is like at some point this is going to be a full mix and match wardrobe. Um, and I think that is going to be really cool. So here is all my pieces. I have the lady, the pants, or the harem pants, the palazzo pants, the shoes, the bag, and the two blouses. And where did the hat go? I know I had the hat just now. She fell down. The hat fell down. And there's the hat. So let's just start putting it all together. I've already taken all the tabs off so that I don't have to fight with that. I just have to ink around it and put it together and see. I think I want to do the palazzo pants. I think those palazzo pants are absolutely beautiful. And I want to put those on her with the blue blouse, like that. So this is how I want to build her, so that she has the hat, and then she has the bag, and this is a separate outfit. Maybe you know what? I'm going to change it. I am going to take these aside, and I just want these pants, because these pants are pretty awesome. And they go just like that with the yellow blouse. And then we have that with these shoes. And I believe that I now have the shoes figured out, that I can slide them over her feet. I believe I have that figured out. Um, so this is where I'm going with it. So let's just grab some glue and some ink, and let's see what we come up with. So I'm going to grab my vintage photo ink. I've been using different inks every week just because, one, I can, two, why not? It is fun to just make them all look just a little different, right? So vintage photo, and I think that is going to make the yellow stand out just a little bit more. That's kind of why I picked it. So I'm being super cautious. Just inking all the edges to make sure that there's no white edges remaining. Inked, done. So I'll show you. I made this journal. So this is really like the city of the dolls, and they're all going to go in here. They all get their own page, and there is 52 pages in there. So glue. That is fabric glue. I don't want that. I am grabbing my Aleene's Fast Grab Tacky Glue and just starting to just glue it down. There is one, and I didn't get it sitting properly. There it is. Now it's sitting properly. And then we'll put the pants on here. I'm just going to put the glue right here on the doll, straight on the doll. It's going to make it a little easier because then I'm not going to be as sloppy with the glue. And then I'm just going to put glue right here on the bottom of the cuffs and in the waist. And then I can stick this right on here, and we'll just slowly slide it into position. And I'm noticing that the waist is a little wide. You can adjust it. You can leave it. You can adjust it. Adjusting it is super easy. You know, these things, they're called scissors. So all you have to do is kind of just cut just that little teeny tiny little corner off right there. And then I'll go around that with the ink again so that that is hidden, and now it fits perfectly. I love this. So we'll give her the hat. And I want it to come up just a little bit, just like that, right there. So I'm just going to hold on to it so that I know that I'm putting it in the right spot. There we go. Beautiful. And then it is time for shoes. So I am just going to put that little bit of glue right there on my mat because it keeps pouring out. I need a little pen knife or my other knife. Okay, so this is a nice knife too. It's pretty sharp. So what I want to do is cut the inside. I'm going to zoom you in on what I am doing. I'm just going to, oh, I'm just going to show you what I am doing. So I am cutting right along the edge of the shoe right there. Then I'm going to cut this open. So I am cutting off the sides. Just like that. And you can do that with scissors as well. And then right here as well. And right here. So it's kind of going to leave a really weird shape, but it will look really cool when you put them onto the feet. And then I'm also going to cut out the toe part. So right now I'm super concentrated, which is why I'm being a little quiet. So I want the toes to show because it is sandals. So putting the sandals onto the doll with the toes closed doesn't make any sense to me because when you're wearing sandals, you can usually see toes. Okay. So now I'm just hiding the white edges. I don't want to see those. And do the same right there, and then along this edge, and along that edge. And then I'm going to put some glue behind here. Making sure that it is well covered. And then I'm going to put the sandals kind of like that onto the feet. And it's working. It's doing what I want. I can see toes. And I just have to cut right here so that it fits in the, it doesn't look like it's going over top of the pants. There we go. So I hope you were able to see that. I'll zoom out now. So I thought that was a pretty neat idea of doing the sandals. So now we have the inside of the feet with the edges, and the other edges are gone. If I really want to, I can cut them out and put them on there, but I'm not sure if that is really going to make a big difference for the amount of work that it is. Okay, so I think the bag can go right there on her arm. And I guess she's going to the market today. I'll put some glue right here. Like that. And I will put some glue under the bag here to stick it down. And there is our new paper doll. There we go. It was super easy to put together. It doesn't always go that easy, you know that. But this one was easy. And that's mostly because there wasn't a lot of mixed media in there. Now, if you really want, you can cut out the inside of the hand. So I'm just going to try that. That's much better than the big white spot. I can't do it here anymore because the bag is there, but I'll just give it a quick ink so it's not so white. There we go. There she is. She is done and ready, and I hope you guys like her. So now let's create a page in here. For this page, I want to do something very simple, and I have some tissue paper that I want to use. Let's just grab a sheet. I have a whole big pile, so and I'm just going to cut a chunk. Let's see how much I will need. Probably about yay much. There. And we'll put this aside and we'll grab some matte medium. Okay. So all I'm doing is just putting matte medium on here. Just a thin layer. I want to do something fairly quick and easy. And I'm just rubbing it down to make sure that it is well attached, that there's no matte medium is drying really fast on the coffee dye. So I'm just adding a little bit more on the edge here so that it doesn't hang loose. It just dries so quickly. And I'm not using the right brush, so that just makes it even worse. All right. Oops. And then of course I need to mess it up. It's okay, I'll just leave it like that. It's okay. Do I have any other pieces that are hanging loose? Right here. I think it's good now. And I think that it would look really cool. Yeah, that looks cool. That looks really cool. Um, so I can probably give it a little bit of a wash with some color. It's not sticking down right there. And if I want to give it a wash with color, I do need it to be stuck down. So I'm just checking to see if I can get that down. Where did my medium go? So the bonus with matte medium over using Mod Podge is that you can go over it with inks and mediums and watercolor, and like it'll take it where matte medium or Mod Podge will not. It just does not like to be used afterwards. Right there, just trying to get everything to be well attached. And it is bumpy because of course it is just a little heavier copy paper, but it is still just copy paper. It's not mixed media paper, so that makes a big difference. But that's okay. That is going to be what is going to make this journal look really funny. Just making sure that it is well enough attached. How about that? So then I'm going to grab some watercolors, and I have a tray right here, and I have my mop. So I think I want to just see what will happen if I wet this down. And I know it can do a few things. It'll probably make a mess, but that is okay. And then I want to use some, let's use some green. I'm just putting some water in the green to dissolve it. And I'm putting water in a couple of greens because that way I can kind of make it a more variegated green as opposed to one solid color green. And it'll just look more interesting when you have the different shades. So I'll just give it some color. Use some more of that turquoisey green. I think that's pretty. I don't think you can see what it looks like, but it is really pretty, and it'll be really faint once it is dry. All right, so it is dry, and I'm just going to tear the tissue paper off here. So it's not going to be neat and tidy, which is just fine by me. I want some of the coffee stain to come out. There we go. I do like it. It is pretty. And especially with her on top of it, like it's just, it looks like a fairy tale kind of idea. I may need some text to go with it again, because this is beautiful handwritten text. And I'm just going to rip it. And I can put this on there. Let's see if I have anything else that I... Big pile. And we'll just put some interest here. That's all it is. Like, this is not anything more than just a little bit of interest and giving it a little color here and there. I think that's all we need today, because I don't want to take too much away from the doll, because the doll is like, it is strong enough to not really need a heavy background. So that's why I'm just giving her a little bit of decoration on here, the tissue paper behind her, and that's all it really needs. There isn't a whole lot. What I am going to do though is ink around the edges a little bit, so that it is looking a little bit more finished. And you always need to put a border around your journal pages, because you know, you just need to frame it, and by inking you are framing it. So I'm just going right over top of that green, and that's okay with a vintage photo. And because I'm using distress ink, and the ink stays translucent, it just gives that little bit of extra decor, as opposed to taking over. It stays translucent, so it doesn't take over the whole page. It just kind of brings everything to the center. And that's why I prefer the inks over the oxides. But that's my personal preference. So we'll put her on here. Let's just glue her down. Where's my tacky glue? Just making sure there's enough glue on there that she will stay very nicely together. It'll actually look better, or I'm hoping that it'll look better than what it is already. Making sure there's lots of glue going through the tool to the paper. And I was going to leave the skirt open so you can pop it up and see the shoes. That's what I wanted to do. Whoops. All right, stick her down. Make sure I don't have glue on my fingers. Then I'm going to transfer over to the doll. You need some foam tape underneath there. Need a lot, just a little piece. Oops. I knew it was right here on my desk. And I'm going to cut it in half and put it together so that it is a double piece of foam tape and then stick that behind the head and onto the page. There we go. So now it doesn't look so weird. There we go. So then on that there with some of these behind it. And I need my ink. And I'm sticking glue everywhere, let me tell you. It is pretty gross. Oops. So I'm kind of keeping this one a little bit cleaner than what I usually do. And I can put this right over there. So that still needs to be inked. Put the lid back on it so it doesn't spill everywhere, because that's what is happening. And then I'll just stick this on here like that, and you can lift it up and you can see her shoes, just like that. Cinderella, I guess. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. So we've got this one done, and then this one will go there. And I think I want like a market scene behind it. So I have to find the right images to be able to go behind her. But yeah, they'll all have their own story to tell in this journal. So she is going to be going into the folio for the time being until it is time for her page to be ready. So I'm putting the pants in here, I'm putting the shirt in there. There we go. Done. Close that up. So this one is no longer available for free. She is in my Ko-fi shop. She is available, but no longer free. And this is the freebie of the week. And I hope you will like her as much as I do. I think she is very pretty, and I love her. I love her clothes this time a lot. And it is really like a market day kind of outfit. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you again on Monday. Bye.